Hi everyone, I'm Arcadius or Arkadius Kaszuba. This is my son Gregory Kaszuba. We are honored to be invited to the inauguration of Congressman Elise Zeldin. Congratulations. By the way, everybody that knows me calls me Archie. A special thanks to Nancy Marks, Zeldin's financial director, who spent a lot of time to put this presentation together, including the bus trip. What you see before you is the eastern end of Long Island, which is the New York's first congressional district, represented now by Elise Zeldin. It includes on the west side, it includes Smithtown, and on the east side, it includes the Hamptons. What you're looking at now is Congresswoman Elise Stefanik's district. She's the youngest Congresswoman to be elected, and her district stretches from the Canadian border to the borders of Vermont, to the edge of Albany, Schenectady, and Utica and Rome. Congratulations to Congressman John Kato, who represents now the 24th District of New York, which is from Oswego to Syracuse, to the edges of Syracuse, Tully, Cayuga Lake borders it, Auburn, and the Canadian border. Shortly you will be watching the reception for Elise Zeldin, Elise Stefano, and John Kato. Enjoy.
Unemployment up to 23 million people unemployed and underemployed. We've now turned that corner. We will continue to turn that corner and extrapolate out how we want to get to all sectors of our economy to have a better shot at jobs in their hometown, in their region, and ones that they can keep, not have, and then lose again. It's these current opportunities that lie right before us. Gentlemen from Georgia, and gentlemen, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Mr. Ryan, are perfectly suited for selling to this body and the American people why we believe that we've got to balance our budget. Well, let me tell you what, it didn't work that way. It was spending hundreds of billions of dollars more. Instead of an economy that was working, we were paying unemployment compensation. People not to be employed, people to be at home. A terrible cost, not only to humanity, but also to our treasury. We need people to go to work, and encouraging them to do this for our tax code means that people can have the dignity of work, the opportunity to make their life better, and perhaps more importantly, a chance for America to grow its GDP. We have examples over and over that we've seen about how taxation legislation affects behavior, certainly in my home state of Texas. I remember in the 80s and the early 90s, revenue was at a premium for the Democrats who ran our House
sharing spirit, and I'm looking forward to working with our great New York State delegation. I'm so excited to be here today with Lee. We're going to be partners on a number of issues, as well as John Katko. Thank you so much, and I want to introduce our majority leader, Kevin McCarty, who campaigned for all three of us over the course of this year, and we won historic wins in New York State thanks to your hard work. And we're looking forward to getting to work in the next Congress.
One other thing about the majority leader, leadership is about, I was getting texts, phone calls, how's your family, how's the campaign, not just coming up to the district when many of you saw him, but just checking in multiple times throughout the week. And what I've noticed from, I went to Kevin McCarthy's office, I guess it was a few months back, and getting a chance to talk to him for the first time, you'll get an appreciation for it now. He has a very deep sense of appreciation of our nation's history, of our Constitution. I've already heard him since getting here talking about his ideas of what we need to do over the course of the next week. Issues like the Keystone Pipeline, the 30-hour to 40-hour work week on Obamacare, Hire More Heroes Act, and of course the appropriation with regards to Homeland Security, and all of us are very focused on what the President did with his unconstitutional executive order. Many of you haven't had a chance to really get to know who Kevin McCarthy is. You might read a headline, you might read a story about leadership. And the one thing in recent days that I was just thinking to myself was how much this guy loves our nation's history and our Constitution, and he wants to fight it as majority leader, which is a post he just took over a few months ago. So I'd like to welcome Kevin McCarthy.
Well, I just want to say this. I want to thank all you, because New York showed the country which way we're going to go. If we ever felt in this country was an opportunity to change in the right direction, you have three members that are a microcosm of this nation. From the youngest woman ever elected making history, to an individual that served his country, served his state, and went even go further, to John Katko, serving as a prosecutor and being the best in the nation. But you know what? When you went across the nation, I'm from California, so I feel it's a lot like New York, right? They think Republicans can't win. Well, I'm telling you, this trio is going to be the strongest on this floor because of their willpower, of their mind, and their passion. Now, I've been to, during the campaign, I went to 140 different districts, and I would check in all the time. My wife's here, Judy. I don't know, where are you? And I was on the road a lot. She would just check in, where are you today? I said, well, I'm up in New York, up in the northern part. I'm going to go see Elise Stefanik. She said, that's my favorite candidate. Favorite woman candidate. But you know what? And she had not met Elise yet. She watched her on TV. And you know what? Think about just being young. Think about being a woman. Think about being a Republican. And nothing holding her back. And that's what I see from all. I met this guy back in 2010. Talking about running. And we have a unique bond. But it's the same bond that we all have. We have a dream, a desire to make this country better. I still believe the best days are in front of us. And I think today is the best day that's going to start. And it's only going to start. Thank you all very much. And if everybody wants to hang around, we're going to be doing a ceremonial swearing in shortly. We're just waiting for our special guest to get here. And I just want to take this opportunity just to say thank you. It's so overwhelming to us to have all of our family and friends taking time traveling from afar. It's a good thing, this is the three new members from New York getting together. Unfortunately, you didn't have to come here from Utah or California or further, where you might not be able to have joined us. But you did. It's a Tuesday. You have busy lives. You have jobs. You have family.
but the most important place for you to be at the start of a new Congress, this is how much you love your country, is to be here fighting for the causes that you believe in. So I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our supporters for putting so much of your heart and soul into the effort over the course of the last year. That is how are you feeling today? That is the only thing that is overwhelming me. Everything else I could take in stride, but all of you being here with us is the most overwhelming piece, or the overwhelming piece, so thank you. It's not the first time that I take it very seriously. At times I question how seriously other people take that oath and what it means. And the first time I took the oath was in the United States Army when I was commissioned as an officer. And I was stationed, first I was at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and then I was at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I joined the 82nd Airborne Division. And one of my battalion commanders during my time at the 82nd Airborne Division, someone very well educated, you really should read. Okay. We have a couple of guests. Well, let me introduce my first guest. I don't know if you recognize the senator from Texas.
All right.
We were just talking about the oath that we take to the Constitution of the United States. And when I was at the 82nd Airborne Division, one of my battalion commanders, someone who has served seven deployments overseas. He retired as a full bird colonel. He was the brigade commander on his way out. And he's someone who taught me a lot about leadership. And he knew how to lead the men of his unit. He multiple Ivy League graduate degrees, and they just were remarkable All-American. And for him to be here as part of this ceremony today means so much. And I first want to be able to introduce Colonel and Congressman Chris Gibson.
Thank you. Let me just start by thanking you. Thank you for sending such an awesome representative to the United States. I'll tell you about, these halls. We need more veterans here in Congress. These Zeldin impressed my wife and I. As Lee mentioned, battalion commander, 82nd Airborne Division, hard times during this war. And we could always count on Lee, rock solid, man of integrity, hard work, great leadership skills, came through for my troops time and time again. You know, I'm so honored to stand next to him now as he takes this oath of office. You know, we had talked when he looked at getting in this race. I said, this is a natural. Here's a guy, look at his beautiful family right here. He is going to come here and he will stand strong on principle. And that's what our voters, that's what our people deserve. And we get this in Elise Stefanik. So, you know, thank you for asking me to be here today. I'm very privileged to be a colleague with you once again, and look forward to all the tremendous achievements that you're going to bring to not only New York One, but to the nation. Yeah. Thank you.
And just before I take the oath, and we're gonna, if we leave quickly, it's because there are some votes taking place. We have a very special guest who actually just surprised me as well, which is great. And you know, the first time, so during the campaign, Senator Cruz reached out to offer offer his support for our efforts. He basically said, whatever I can possibly do to help the cause, and this was very early on when we were battling a tough primary. And I actually learned that the person who ran for the seat a couple times in a row just before me was on the debate team in Princeton. Randy Altshuler went to college with Senator Cruz. Many of you may not know that. And he is fighting hard for that oath, for that Constitution, for our freedoms and our liberties. He is a passionate American who really wants to see a better America. That's not a talking point, and you know what? When I say that, I know that you know that. So just before I take the oath, first, if I could just introduce our very special surprise guest, Senator Ted Cruz.
Well, look, I just want to say thank you and congratulations, number one, to Lee, who is going to make a fantastic member of Congress. And number two, to the men and women in this room who crawled over broken glass. This was a race that each of you won. And listen, our country is in a time of crisis. Right? We are facing extraordinary threats. The Obama economy, what we're doing isn't working. Our constitutional rights are under assault. And the Obama-Clinton foreign policy is a train wreck. Leading from behind doesn't work. And I want to thank each and every one of you, actually on behalf of 26 million Texans. I want to thank New York for sending us reinforcements. For sending us a man of principle, a man of integrity, a man of courage, and I'll tell you, I'm confident Lee is going to do one very simple thing that is transformational, which is stand up and tell you the truth.
You ready to do it? All right. I swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States. I will uphold the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith, and allegiance to the same. And that I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office about which I am due. So help me God.
Hello everybody, here I am, Archie Kaszuba, in the flesh, well, more or less anyway. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for viewing my video, and hopefully you are able to walk away with an idea of what democracy is and what transparency looks like from the standpoint that the politicians that you have seen tonight, all of them are enthusiastic to make sure that we uphold the Constitution of the United States and that we basically fight for the freedom of this country without any reservations. In addition to that, you really weren't able to see the handful of young children and young adults that were at this gathering. There was a lawyer from the Smithtown area with his son that came on my bus. Also on my bus that I traveled on, there was a mother with her 12-year-old son and her 11-year-old daughter. And basically, it was a 6-hour drive to get to Washington, D.C. The weather was sloppy. We had a little bit of snow, a little bit of sleet, and we still got to Washington on time for the swearing-in ceremonies. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this video gives you a good, honest impression and idea of what government should be like and how the politicians that we elect should be acting for the benefit of the public and the people of the United States of America. God bless you, and have a great day. If you wish to promote real cultural and political programming, contact me, Archie. Hi, for those of you that don't realize this, congressmen have to run for office every 2 years. Nancy Marks is the individual that you basically contact to donate your contributions for Lee Zeldin's re-election. Feel free to contact her anytime. Piotr Koniec, the end, SlavicTV.com. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Hope to see you again.